Hi, Paul here again with another Devongunsmith Diaries, and this is a Beretta 686 Silver Pigeon and it's failing to change over. So let's get into it. If you enjoy the content, don't forget, like, subscribe and click the notification bell. Right then, so with no further ado, we really need to crack on here. I'm in one of the busiest periods. It's feast and famine in the gun trade world. You either have nothing or you have too much to do. A bit like policemen. You have nothing and then 5 come along at once. Or buses, even. So I'll just get the stock off. Don't need to record that really, do we? It's fairly standard stuff. Right, so my usual method here to check these is to pop the barrels back on, put the forearm back on, put the stock bolt back on, fingers and thumbs today, and then actually check visually without the stock what's going on. Just need to take the label off. All the usual stuff applies, no GDPR and all that malarkey. Don't you love GDPR, eh? Anyway. Need to find some snap caps, that's the next thing. One of my customers went off with my last set in his gun, so I've got to find the old scrappy Old Faithfuls. Doesn't matter, all works the same. Okay, so fire. Nothing happening. Okay, prove that's working. I think there's a little bit of a timing issue or something. Right, change sides, safety off, fire. If I pull this back, it should. Not happening. Okay, let's see if there's an inertia situation. So I'm going to whack it. Okay, so back to the first point. Select. Fire. Give it a hearty tap. Works. Okay. So the inertia safety interceptor is working. So it has to have the inertia to change to the next barrel. That's the first thing. And select over to the other barrel. Just check eject. Yeah, works fine. Yeah, there's a slight timing issue there, I think, possibly. I'll have a look into that in a minute. Right, change barrels. Give it a tap. On the floor. That's not doing what it says it's doing. So I'm wondering if the customer's trapping it, trapping the trigger. Could be, but I'm tasked with finding out what's going on. So I'll give it a standard good clean using our favourite standard gun cleaner, Napier. I'm just going to give it a right good flooding out and blow it out, clean it, put it back together, try it again until we get some successful tests. I will probably go and take it up to the firing box, which is my sandbox, as you may or may not know. If I get a chance, I'll show that on the video. If I get changeover on report, in other words, the discharge of a shell actually changes over without a problem. Perhaps I'll catch that on video for you as well if I can. Let's see how it goes. So quickly into this. I'm running out of space rapidly. I've got so many jobs in stasis mode where we're simply waiting for parts or prioritization of work, etc. So this is what we need to be looking at right now. So zoom in. There we go. Let's have a look. Right, there doesn't seem to be anything intrinsically wrong. It's not dirty and there's certainly no rust in there. So I'm not seeing anything I'm concerned about. I just wonder whether the customer's trapping the trigger. That's certainly one of the things that can happen. Anyway, this is stuff you can do at home. This is not really gunsmithing. This is just basic maintenance. So absolutely flood this out. Oh, there's a bit of dirt in there, but nothing significant. Yeah, it's a bit grubby, but not terrible. Do you know what, guys? I think I need to take it up to my testing area and give it a darn good shoot. It doesn't... Nothing grabs me, and based on the fact that we've already had a situation where clearly it's not failing on recoil, I just think it maybe just needs shooting a bit. That's kind of the feeling I have. So before I start doing any more with this, I'll put it back together again, take it up to my workshop and fire it through the sandbox a few times and see if I can replicate the fault. So with these apparent intermittent type faults, they are the bane of a gunsmith's life, because you can spend hours on them, but the customer won't want to pay unless it's fixed. That's human nature. But you know, your time still costs you in the meantime. Okay, stock on. So this is something in frustration you'll have to take and fire and test. See you back in a minute. Okay, so you've seen, I tested over to under, and under to over, works fine. And this is one of those dilemmas that a gunsmith has. Do I put more time investigating a fault that probably isn't a fault, and then have to charge a bigger bill to the customer for effectively doing not much because you're just investigating? Or do I return the gun in its present state? Obviously, I have warranties on my work, so if he has a further problem with it, bring it back, no charge. That is the option I generally employ. So that's where we are with this one, guys. A relatively quick, short job. But this is the dilemma you have when you're busy, is like a triage effect. do I put more time on this gun, or do effective work on another gun that will actually benefit? I don't feel that just by the inspection of this is in lovely condition. My suspicion is he's trapping the trigger, which is when you don't let it back sufficiently to let it fully recoil. If you hold it, if you trap the trigger and it goes bang, it doesn't reset. And that was a naughty thing to do. One of the things I can do is check the firing pins or the strikers, just to make sure there's nothing going on with those. But for this video at least, that's it guys. See you next time.